You'll go ahead and do that one too. Are we live? We are live.
Yay, we love being live.
We do. This is our first time doing a live where we can't see ourselves on the camera. So we've got two cameras that we're looking at today.
So I'm not going to look at it later.
Yeah, so she has a tendency to get lost in the comments. So we're trying to, upgrade what we're doing here for you.
Yeah,
but
that is true. I
right.
do like to read the comments a lot. Huh?
But we are here. My name is Lacey Cerrone. This is Amber Coleman. And if you've never seen us before, you've clearly been missing out on the party, don't you think?
Yes, you have. But we love that you're here right now.
We do. It has been 1 year since we closed the doors.
This?
Yeah, no.
I remember leaving my office a year ago thinking I'm not going to see anybody for a while. I would have never thought it would be a year. Crazy.
I know. We're live right now on YouTube as well as on Amber Coleman Home Loans or Amber Coleman Loans on Instagram. So wherever you want to watch us, please join us and say hi. Please start dropping in your questions in the comment box so we can actually answer those questions for you live. And we've got a few questions that have already come through actually that are the regular questions of the day. I think they're like 10 times, 20 times a day. So
we do get asked these quite a bit, but I mean, it's on everybody's mind. So let's go with them.
All right. We've got our helper here. Her name is Genevieve. She's also a realtor. Genevieve, would you like to stick your head in and say hi?
I definitely
She's our helper today.
To have all my
she loves being prepared and loves when Lacey puts her on the camera.
Good morning, everybody.
It's Genevieve Moffett. She's a part of the Cerrone Group here in Las Vegas. And we're just excited to be telling you what the hell's going on in the market in 2021. Are you ready?
It's a roller coaster, right?
Roller coaster. While we're waiting for Genevieve to come up with the questions, we've got a couple that have already come through. I wanted to just reiterate, it has been 1 year since you and I started doing these weird, random live events each day or each week or whenever we felt the need to do them to bring
at first
happiness.
It was quite a lot, right?
We were doing lives almost every other day, and it was really just because it was 1 year ago when Las Vegas decided to kind of shutter the doors, and we decided we weren't going to see each other for a little while. Well, we didn't make that decision, obviously, but and it began this journey, this last 12 months journey of weird. I don't even know what else to call it, but weird, cool, crazy, awesome, strange.
It's weird. I think I've realized that we need each other's energy. Like as people, we need each other's energy because when you're just a couple people now, you're like,
Yeah, I walked into the office today. She actually has people working in the office, and I was like, this is so weird. So we've still worked throughout the entire pandemic. We've been very fortunate to be able to, be in the workforce still because we're essential businesses, and I'm really grateful for that. But we have had just a wonderful, beautifully devastating year. It's like wonderful, it's devastating. It depends on the minute. And it's not just the real estate market. Our city has definitely been affected in a big way. And so we're just now starting to see people come back to the city. We're seeing the casinos open up a little bit.
I went to a show.
She went to a show. There's actually shows.
There are shows available right now. Honestly, when I looked and there was a few of them available. So I'm like,
I'm stoked.
Let's support our performers.
It's amazing. And that was like the world I was in before, right? On the strip, working for Cirque du Soleil. So I have a lot of friends that are performers that have been out of work for a year.
And you feel so bad.
It's been really hard. So we're really excited. I don't know. It's been kind of cool. So Vegas updates. Let's do that quickly. Let's do some quick Vegas updates. Okay. Right now, you are pretty much able to go anywhere in the city. I think you can seat up to 6 people at a table now. I think they're operating at 50% capacity, if I'm not mistaken. And what's cool is like it's not 100% Vegas yet. It's not like the buzz isn't 100% down there, but it's starting to feel like Vegas.
It is starting to feel. You're starting to feel alive again. You're starting to feel like you can go out again. You're starting to see crowds. On the strip and stuff like that.
There's like 9. You said there's like 9 shows available right now on the strip-ish that are live.
We went last week and I was counting. There was about 9 that are there.
She's just basically saying she went to Thunder from Down Under 9 times last week. It's really what happened.
That one is open too, by the way.
Anybody up for girls' night? Let's go. I know I could use a little bit of sweat and a little bit of excitement.
That is a good show. I'm not going to lie. But we did do the extravaganza one. It was a variety show at the Bally's.
That's awesome.
And it's a lot of the people that were on like America's Got Talent. It was a really good show. Good. Yeah, it was a really good show.
And I know it didn't feel like a normal show because you weren't crowded in there.
You're not feeling the energy of everybody. It was about 25% full, I would say.
Hey, but like it's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, so we'll take it.
I think Absinthe is opening up, which is kind of a little bit of a naughty, risque show.
And that's a newer one, right?
It's been around for a few years, but
I haven't seen that.
Well, then I guess we have to go out. So Vegas is coming back. So if you're wondering if moving to Vegas is a good idea, the answer is always going to be yes. First of all, right?
Yeah. The answer is yes.
And if you just
benefits.
Want to come in and visit for a little while, wear your mask, of course, be safe, get your vaccine if you need to. But at the end of the day, wanted to let you know it's okay to come back and visit, right?
Yes.
All right. Genevieve, are you ready with questions?
I am so ready with questions.
She's ready. Let's do this.
Okay, first one. Is the market going to crash or go down?
Okay, this is like basically the question of the day. Thank you, Genevieve. I'm gonna let you start this one, and then I'll give my take.
People, I think that everybody feels like, like we're feeling a little flashback of what happened in 04.
Yes.
So like what happened in 04 is that it went crazy. We were paying over appraised value. A lot of the same things right now. The only difference is that everybody and their brother, if you were breathing, could get a loan back then. Now they're very strict with loans. So if you ask me if it's going to crash, I'm going to say no, it's not going to crash.
I'm going to agree with you.
I think that we might stop moving up
at
some point, but I don't think we're going to crash.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, I think from the real estate side of things, we've really never seen the industry go down and stay down. It's just never been like that. The one time that it was like the scary ones, again,
was like
07, 08.
Yeah, 07, 08 when it started.
All of that got kind of crazy, and it's for those reasons. But for us right now, we've seen nothing but up, nothing but up, nothing but up. Now, when interest rates rise a little bit, or the inventory comes up, because really the reason we're seeing such a frenzy is because there's not enough houses for people to buy. There's too many people, not enough houses, right? So creates a bit of a bidding war and a little bit of a frenzy. But I don't foresee it crashing or anything. I really just, to your point, just kind of see it leveling off, slowing down a little bit.
Like you want to pay over appraised value.
Yeah, it'll be healthy. It'll be a healthy market.
We want healthy, because this is too crazy. We don't like to see when the builders rule the world.
No, and we don't like to see when people are having to pay more than a house is worth or appraised for, because that's not a good investment
make
strategy.
You feel very good inside.
Sometimes you have to do it just to get your foot in the door, but we don't want that to be something that stays. So the answer I would say is no, and I think she agrees. What do you got next, Genevieve?
All right. When forbearances are lifted, how will that affect the market?
So forbearances, just in case you're not aware, a year ago, the government kind of reached in and helped out and said, and worked with a lot of the lending companies and things like that and banks, and said, hey, people don't have jobs. We have to help them push their, loans to the end of the loan, or the loan payments to the end of the loan. Since you guys are Guild Mortgage, tell me how that's been affecting you, and also what you think is going to happen once the forbearances are lifted.
So with the forbearances, they can skip a certain amount of payments and then put it at the end of the loan. For a refinance, we have to hold off for a certain amount of months before we can refinance. For a purchase, you do too.
Right.
What I think is going to happen is that, because a lot of people think, oh, we're going to get a whole bunch of foreclosures. We're not going to see foreclosures because the prices of everybody's houses have gone up so much. So I don't think we're going to see the foreclosures. I think we're completely off thinking that right now. So I think when that's lifted, people, hopefully they lifted at a time when everybody's back to work.
Right.
And there's probably going to be more houses, so we'll have a healthier market at that point. But I don't think there's going to be this overabundance in houses, and then we kind of go down.
No, I agree.
And that's kind of the census that's out there right now.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're hearing too?
I am. And the other component that not a lot of people are talking about, so there's the loan forbearance, that's for homeowners, but then there's this moratorium on evictions for people who are renting too. That's also affecting
Is that June as well?
I don't actually remember. Do you know the date of when that's happening, Genevieve? Not that she's on camera, but we'll just pretend like she's our little helper. I thought it was this month, right? Yeah, I believe it's the end of March is when the moratorium on evictions should be lifted. So those are investors who are allowing people to rent, tenants to rent their homes. They're probably taking advantage of forbearances as well, right? So it's not just people who have to move that might be listing their home.
It's the investors.
It's the investors too.
Good point right there.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I'm always thinking about the people that are out of work, but good point. There's a lot of investors.
So two things I think will affect it, right? People going back to work is definitely going to help. If they're working and they're still thinking about moving, or they want to take advantage of, the fact that the market has gone up, they may list their home, downsize, upsize, whatever they need to do. But the working component of it, I think, is going to be the fact that, that's going to be a bigger component of it, I should say. And then again, if I'm a tenant and I've been not paying my rent for a year now, and my person who owns the home now can evict me for not paying, I'm either going to start paying that rent, or I'm going to maybe go look to buy, or they might look to list the home, which then again brings more inventory. I do not foresee a massive flooding of homes like you said.
No.
I definitely think it'll be a slow correction to the market,
but to a more healthier market.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
We want this healthy market. We can't wait for it.
Okay. What else you got, Jen?
All right. So we know it's a seller's market. What's the best way to win that house you want?
Oh man.
Lazy.
Okay, this is my world. Woo! Okay. Let me see. Let me get ready. Okay. So to win a house, it's really going to be a case by case basis, right? So, and you are working with us very closely when we're writing offers, because we want to make sure we're setting you up as the buyer with the best possibility of winning the home. We cannot control that there are lots of people coming in from other states that have cash money in their hand and they're willing and ready to lay down whatever they need to land a house in Sin City. So that's the only component that we really can't control. We also can't, the other part that we can't really control, but we definitely try to influence, is the seller. We just try to understand what the heck does the seller want, need, care about, all of that. So they might need a little bit of a lease back. They might want to stay in the house after you buy it for a month while they find their home, right? That's very popular right now because a lot of people don't have anywhere else to go, right?
Yeah.
So if you're willing to do that, that can help you win the list or win the home that you want. You do have to be willing to pay over the list price sometimes. And sometimes that means out of pocket, because if the home isn't going to appraise for what you're offering, you got to cover the difference, right?
Yeah,
or you can sometimes
a lot.
Negotiate for that to be covered, but right now in this market, it's all coming out of your pocket. So call your grandma, ask her for all those checks that she's been writing you for the last 38 years and see if she'll combine them into one check, and you can actually use that to help you pay for the difference. I don't know.
Yeah.
But really, it's working very closely with you as the client. We really, really want to understand what's the most important thing to you. Timing, is it budget? Is it the exact house you need? Like, what is it? And then we're going to go out there and try to find what we need. And then we schmooze the other agent. We definitely try to learn.
You guys are the best schmoozers.
We are good schmoozers. We make friends all over the city on your behalf, of course.
Yes,
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, no
Listen,
problem.
it's not BS. We really do want to connect with people, and we want to like the agent that's working on the other side of the transaction.
Well, so how they can feel your genuineness now. That's the same way when it comes to the agent on the other side. So that's why it's
every
good
Tuesday.
That's why it's good to pick a good team, right?
Thank you. So yeah, you win the house by working really closely with your lender and your agent and your agent team, and really be strategic based on what that seller wants. You just want to give them what they want.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't care. Sometimes they're an investor and they don't care who buys the house. So writing these long letters of who you are and why they love you and why they should love that you're buying their house, that doesn't always work. It can work. Some people still have a heart when it's a market like this, but it's a little bit more few and far between. So that's my answer to that. I hope I did well, but we've actually won quite a few.
No,
for our clients.
you guys are doing awesome out there.
This last month has been a crazy time, and I'm really proud to say that we've put like 30 to 35 people in homes just in the last few weeks. Just my team alone. So
that's
proud
awesome.
Of that. Thanks, Amber.
Proud. That's awesome.
She approves them. We bag them. We get them out.
One thing too that I wanted to say on the lending side too is what I'm telling the clients right now to get accepted on their offer is get me all your paperwork so that I can run everything through, even get an underwriting approval. Because then when I'm on the phone with the listing agent, I can speak with all confidence and say, look, we can close you in 21 days. We have all the paperwork. They look great, you know, like with all that. So like that's what I'm also telling people to do too.
Let's reiterate
so
that.
We can close fast.
When we ask you to start the process of getting pre-approval and doing what you need to do to get your loan set up, doing all of the crappy work up front will also help you win that house, because it does.
It will.
Because sometimes it'll take 10 days off of the process for putting it through loan approval and things like that, or 2 days or 5 days, and that could be a clincher at the end.
Yeah.
Good point.
So and then 21-day escrows. That's what I'm trying to push all the time. 21-day escrows.
Wow.
Because nobody else is doing them right now. So
this lady is. Excuse me. Look. We chose the right lender. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too.
21-day closings is beauty to my ears, music to my ears. I'm going to go have a cocktail and celebrate that.
That's awesome.
Okay, what do we got, Jen?
Okay, so we have a lot of great questions coming in on the live chat. I'm going to combine our last question that we got previously with this one.
Okay.
So our rate's going to go up, and I'm going to shout you guys out as you ask the questions. Brent wants to know how much.
How much is the rate going to go up? Hey, Brent, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it. You know, I know you're not really allowed to quote rates online because it's obviously very individual based on someone's credit, income, debt, all of that, right? Yeah. But in your humble opinion, that is not, she's an expert, but she can't be quoted for this. So don't show anybody this video.
Well,
what are your thoughts?
I don't have a crystal ball either.
You don't, but give me, what does your gut say?
What I'm seeing right now is in the last month, I've seen rates jump about 0.5%.
Okay.
In the last month.
Now let's hold on. 0.5%, by the way, is ridiculously low, just so you know.
That's what I was just going to say, but hold on.
But you totally didn't dance out of your chair like I did. Ridiculously low.
My cheerleader right here, I love her. So yeah, they're about 0.5% higher, but that's still so freaking low.
Oh,
like what we're looking at in rates is what we were looking at like last I don't know, September, October in rates. So we were still in pandemic. So these are still
pandemic
really low rates.
We're gonna call these
pandemic rates.
We still got the pandemic rates, y'all. So don't worry.
So, but what I kind of think is that as we start seeing things open more and more people go back to work, the jobless numbers become jobless claims become less. Then we're going to start seeing rates go higher. So we might be post-pandemic rates at that time. So I don't know, like summer, like end of fall, we might be seeing a little bit higher rates. But honestly, the post-pandemic rates
extremely low.
They were lower post-pandemic than they had ever been before. Like they were so low before that. So I don't think they could go much above that right now because it's going to take some time for the economy.
It's going to take a while, right? A couple of years, I would say, for everything to kind of swirl around.
And we might even see like this, you know, because we always kind of see that anyway. Right now, we're just coming out of it, so we're seeing that little bit of a bump, but we're still really low. So it's still a great time. And what I suggest right now is that when you find your house, let's lock you.
Lock that rate, baby. Lock the rate.
Lock it in.
But, so the answer, I guess, is yes, rates will go up, but at the end of the day, they're still stupid low, so don't let that scare you. Right?
Yeah.
Keeping it easy.
And the more that they move up too, we might not see as much overappraised value and stuff like that. So it might even each other out.
I really do. I think that's the part that people forget about is that everything affects everything else, right? So rates change, that changes this, that your jobless rates change, that changes this. It's like this constant amoeba or this puzzle that's constantly being reworked.
Everything kind of works with each other and it's a give and take on all sides, but it's not all bad, you know, when you say rates go up, you know.
Rates are going to go up and it's going to help us. So I'm actually, I'm excited about rates clicking up a little bit.
It's the first time in my career that I've ever said I'm excited about rates going up because the market's so crazy right now.
Do you have one of those? Pew, 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 pew. Do you have any one of those horns that they play?
Don't worry, next time I'll have one.
You're gonna have one. I know she will have one. So prepare your ears. But it's a historical moment right now. You've never said that in your history. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, that is true. We need one of those.
We do, right? Okay, Jen, what do we got?
All right, next question. Cedric, he says he's planning on moving to Vegas in 2 years. How much money do you think he'll need to make the move?
How much money do we think you're going to need for the move? Ooh, okay. Oh, man, that's tough.
It kind of depends on how you're going to move here.
Yeah. Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you going to have a job when you get here already? Or are you going to need a job when you get here? Because if you need a job when you get here, please don't move here till you have a job. I love you, but we want it to be easy and we want it to be a good experience for you. And yes, I love that you're 2 years out planning. Congratulations for that.
Yes, good job.
I try to tell people you want to have 3 to 6 months worth of whether it's bills, mortgage, rent, whatever that looks like for your world, kind of put away. It really will give you a chance to not only enjoy the city and get to know it a little bit, but also just breathe once you get here. It is not an expensive city. Vegas is not an expensive city.
No, especially when you're comparing it to other cities that are all over the United States. Yeah. Everything I think is a lot cheaper.
It is, except for car insurance. Car insurance is going to cost you quite a bit more than you probably are anticipating. So I would start running those rates soon. It's going to depend on what zip code you're planning to live in as well. So they're going to ask you a lot of those questions. But aside from car insurance, we are a very cheap place to live. So when you're estimating that 6 months worth of bills, don't think it's what you're paying for now. Think of what it's going to be out here. We also really recommend that if you're going to rent, to try to really look at something that's going to give you a little bit more flexibility so that if you do want to buy, that you'll have the ability to move fast and, you know, not wait a year during a pandemic when you could take advantage of amazing rates or things like that. Yeah. So that's my gut. That's my gut. I hope that helped. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that was a good answer.
Awesome question coming from Tobias. He wants to know, other than the Strip, what areas have the best walkability in terms of stores, restaurants, etc.?
Oh, this is.
I know, Lacey.
So Las Vegas right now. Okay. We're sitting in downtown Summerlin, which is, I believe, a very walkable area of town to live.
Oh, yes.
Summerlin is one of the most popular areas of Las Vegas for good reason, right? There's a lot of amazing shopping, amazing restaurants, and just really cool, beautiful, clean area to live. Lots of parks, things like that. So Summerlin is definitely on the top of my list for some walkability. If you live near downtown Summerlin or near Tivoli Village, those are two major kind of intersections. If you live in the other parts of Summerlin, I reserve the right to take that off the list and we can put it somewhere else. But if you're living kind of in these areas, that would be walkable. Downtown Vegas is super walkable and it's definitely becoming more residential, don't you think?
Downtown Vegas?
Yeah, like all those high rises that are down there.
The high rises and even the houses, like the vintage houses are becoming more popular right now. It is fun, those vintage houses down there.
So a little bit of downtown Vegas. Inspirata is a really cool little neighborhood.
Amazing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love
I wouldn't say it's totally walkable to like every grocery store or every Creature Comfort, but it is extremely walkable when it comes to parks and a little coffee shop and events that they do throughout the community, and skate parks and community pools, you name it. Henderson has Green Valley Ranch area. That's also near the district. If you're Googling this while we're talking, that's another area.
Yeah,
that's
the
pretty
district
walkable.
is pretty. Yeah, it's kind of like downtown Summerlin.
Yeah,
is that right?
almost exactly the same as downtown Summerlin. As long as you live around there, you should be able to have that walkable experience. So, there's also, obviously, if you lived in a high rise or something like that, it would be different. But outside of the Strip, to your point, which was the question, thank you. Those are the more walkable areas of town. I hope that answered your question. Tobias, right? Thank you, Tobias. Love your name too.
So from Mario, he's driving to Vegas from suburban Chicago at the end of the week.
Awesome.
So he's gonna get some sunshine.
He's gonna get some real sunshine. Hey, Mario.
Amber,
feeling good out
like
here.
you were born for this question.
Oh, yay.
Okay. He wants to see some homes or possible second homes. Is it advisable to get pre-approved?
Yes, it is. Yes, right. I love the Mario.
You like that? I'm
yes,
sorry.
very much advisable to get pre-approved, because honestly, if you find something you want, nobody's going to accept an offer without a pre-approval.
Yeah.
So I would say, let's talk. Let's get you all pre-approved. Let's pull everything. Let's send you out there looking for houses with a letter. So if you see something, you're good to go. You can write that contract.
No time is lost.
Yeah.
And also, probably a good time to mention, in the description below, there's a link if you want to get in touch with me or Amber. Click that link. Our team will reach right out to you.
Great time to mention that. I love it.
I have pretty good timing most days. But yeah, so definitely click the link below. We'll also paste it in the comments of this when we're done with this live Q&A, so that you have it really easily readily available right at the top of the comments. Thank you, Mario.
Great question.
Get pre-approved today with Amber Coleman at Guild Mortgage. Get pre-approved today.
That's the best jingle I've ever heard.
I'm gonna put that one out on Spotify tomorrow. Okay.
That's awesome.
So from Josh, you mentioned a little bit about Summerlin. He says they always hear about Henderson, Summerlin. Are those the two safest places to live?
Ooh, really good question, Josh.
Have you looked up the records on all that stuff?
I do look at the safety records, the crime records, crime stats pretty often, actually. And I'm not legally allowed to tell you an area is safer than another area, because I'm not an expert in crime. But what I would say is Henderson has been voted one of the safest places to live in all of the nation, actually, a couple years back. And largely it's due to the fact that it's its own city, it's its own town. They have their own police force, jail, the mayor, the whole thing. And even though it's literally one street away from Las Vegas, and everybody assumes you live in Vegas when you live there, but because of that, I think the ratio of police officers to people who live there is pretty high. So it creates a more safe environment. But definitely look into those stats, those crime stats. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and Henderson Police both have stats online. We highly recommend that you do the research. Henderson's really awesome. A lot of people love living there. Summerlin is too. But there are some really beautiful, safe, and low crime areas in other sections of town also.
Yeah.
So we would be happy to educate you on those other sections of town and see what's going to fit your lifestyle the best. So again, there's that link below if you want to click it. Thank you for asking. That's a really good question.
It is, yeah. So Stephanie, man, I am so impressed with these questions, by the way.
We've got the best people who watch this channel.
You guys
we love
awesome.
you.
We do love you.
I'll do another jingle about that in a minute.
So Miss Stephanie wants to know, you mentioned, she wants to know when we'll have a healthier market, and what will that market look like compared to what it was before the pandemic?
Ooh, the crystal ball.
Crystal ball again. Let me pause for a minute, because the last question, I think we totally skipped over the fact that he was looking at the Home is Possible program. He said he was going to look at Home is Possible second homes, right?
That. Did he say Home is Possible?
He said wants to see home/possible second.
Oh, possible second homes. But I should definitely say, though, isn't the Home is Possible program still available?
Yes. So, and I'm asked about this all the
Isn't
time.
it free money?
Grants.
Free
yes.
money? Oh.
So the grants are very much available. They've even added new programs this year to the grants. I've noticed that the rates, like on conventional loans, have gotten better this year than they were last year. So like the grants are very much there. So definitely feel free to ask me about the grants whenever you're looking to move here.
That's really important, though. Free money is good.
We love free money, right? But the one thing that people ask a lot is, if you're moving from somewhere else, if you have a job somewhere else and you're moving here, that's more considered second home.
Got it.
Like the grant programs are primary residence. So either your job needs to be virtual, where you work from home, or your job in Vegas.
Okay,
so that's the question I'm asked.
There are still free money programs, and I know that wasn't the actual question, but I thought it was, so that's why we're answering it. But genuinely, there are still free money programs available. And to your point, it's just not going to work if you're trying to move here and purchase a second home under the loan, or if you're still working in a company that doesn't allow you to live here. So that's super important to know. Okay, ask that question one more time. Crystal ball, right?
Yeah. So when do you think we'll have a healthier market, and what will that look like compared to what it was before COVID?
Healthier market. What will that look like compared to pre-COVID days, which I don't even remember.
Pre-COVID days, the market was still it was moving a lot. Yeah.
A healthy market for us on the real estate, the realtor side is at least 4 to 6 months worth of inventory on the market, which means that you have a little bit more of an option and a choice when you're looking at the homes that are available. 4 to 6 months. To give you some perspective, or I guess context, we're less than a month's worth of inventory right now, which means it's like 3,000 homes or less. I might even be less than 3,000 homes right now available. And that doesn't include new homes, but that's a whole different ballgame. So 4 to 6 months is a really good number to work with. It makes us feel good. It makes us feel good for the sellers and the buyers, because it gives everybody a chance to kind of negotiate the best deal possible on both sides. So that's for me. But from a rates perspective, what do you think?
A healthy market. I mean, right now, I think that's what's causing the whole frenzy in houses is the rates. So it's like that give and take thing that we talked about. So once we get up, I would say like when we get to like the post-pandemic rates, when we're where we were before the pandemic started, that was the healthy market that we're looking for.
Those rates were, 3s, 4s.
Those were like high 3s,
low 4s. Yeah, and still good.
On government loans, you could get mid 3s though. Like government loans are a little bit different. So I think as far as rates are concerned, healthy market means a little bit higher interest rates, which I know is not something that everybody wants to hear, but.
But that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Sorry.
That's the truth of it.
More houses and a little bit of a higher interest rate will help us get there, but also will help you as a buyer and you as a seller really find the right offer, or make the right offer and find the right house and be able to actually negotiate, which is the best part of this job. Hello.
It's fun to negotiate. Yeah,
it's fun.
You miss the negotiating world.
Freaking do,
unless you're on the selling side,
which we are on a couple of really awesome houses that are really pretty. If you haven't watch it on the channel. Okay, go ahead.
I want to jump ahead just really quickly back to Mario.
Okay. Let's go, Mario.
You know what? It just got to me while you were singing Mario.
Sorry, I'm doing like the mushroom.
I'm a little slow. Sorry, Mario.
So he wants to know how long it takes to get pre-approved.
Oh, this is all you.
Well, Mario, I mean, usually I can do it within 24 hours. So
that's what she said.
Yeah,
for real. That's what she said.
That is the truth, though. So usually, what I'll have you do is fill out an application, and then I'll give you a call back. We'll go through all the numbers, and we'll get you pre-approved. The one thing that I do suggest to do quickly is when I ask you for paperwork, get that stuff right back to us so that we can do that 21-day off escrow and stuff like that in this crazy market.
You got to do your part, Mario.
Yes, you do.
So grab all those mushrooms, grab those coins, bring those coins with you to the phone call. I'm sorry, I'm stuck on Super Mario Brothers. I really miss my childhood. That's all I have to say.
Need to get some Super Mario Brothers.
Stacey needs a day off. Oh God. All right, what else you got?
So from David. This is probably for you.
Okay.
How difficult is it for a new real estate agent to attempt to start now in Vegas?
Oh, David, let me just tell you something, David. What have we been calling me lately? The Pied Piper of new real estate agents, right? The Pied Piper of new realtors. Because for some reason, I probably have more real estate agents contact me on a daily basis asking for advice on their marketing.
Because you're so amazing.
I mean, can I help you? No, truly though, David, I love that you reached out to me. I love it when realtors do, because I'm a huge believer, and you know this about me, in collaboration versus competition, right?
That's what's so amazing about you.
Thank you. I'm going to do these every Tuesday.
You're always there to help everybody.
Thank you. And I really am.
I think we are doing this every Tuesday.
We're doing them every Tuesday, just so you know. So I really do love helping other realtors. So if you're thinking about getting into real estate, the first piece of advice I would ask, or question I would say is, do you know anyone here, right? If you're brand new to Vegas and you're trying to get into real estate, it can happen. It can be done. But I would recommend that you look at joining a team of some sort. I have a team, just so you know, in case you want to know about that. But a team, I would definitely look at operating your business under a team just for the first year or two, or even forever if you really like it, because a team can be providing a structure to you that brings you leads and possibly connects you with clients that you may not know.
Yeah.
If you live here already and you have a good network of people, you don't necessarily need a team unless you, again, want to work with really cool people like me.
You
talking to you, David.
Yes, you do, David.
But truly, teams can be a really really great way to expand your brand and also really activate you. This is a really, really lonely business if you do it alone. And I learned that the hard way. Remember, I used to call you like crying.
There's a big learning curve. I think there's a big learning curve. And
a lot of people assume doing real estate, being a realtor means you make fast money and you're making it rain and everything's great and it's all easy and you just slap people into houses. But I'm a believer that you have to do it differently. You have to carry those people with you in your pocket and gently take care of them.
And you really do.
And you do. You really do. I mean, this is the largest
purchase an emotional purchase
of anyone's life. And it's extremely emotional. And it's lonely doing it all by yourself. So you can also feel like you're in a bit of an echo chamber sometimes when you're doing it on your own and you don't get the knowledge and the skill sets that you would get if you surround yourself with other realtors.
Yeah, there's a lot of on-job learning. So if you're with a team, you have somebody to collaborate with to be able to make that learning curve a little bit less.
Yeah. So if you're thinking about it, and this goes for anyone, not just you, David, if you are thinking about becoming a realtor in Vegas, please consider reaching out. You're welcome to fill out that link below. I'd be happy to do a phone call or do emailing with you and just give you some advice. The one thing I would say is don't assume you're going to learn the job at the school, because you're not going to learn how to be a realtor by going to real estate school. You're going to learn how to pass the test and the laws. And like, those are really obviously important things, but the actual job has a lot more to it. So thank you for asking that. It is still possible. And I do think that if you know a handful of people, you could really kick it off. And if you don't know a handful of people and you're new to Vegas, give me a call, let me know. But at the end of the day, just get your butt out there. The city's reopening. It's time to meet people. And all you got to do is let them know you do real estate. Everyone wants to know something about the real estate market at any given time, right?
They do. Yeah, they do.
Same thing for lenders. There's a lot of lenders that try to get into the business, right? We talk about that all the time. And it's the same process. Lenders and realtors have the same problem. Is there's no on-the-job training. It's basically you're figuring it out unless you find a leader or a team that can kind of help put their arms around you.
Yeah.
So,
and what I usually try to do is start them off in a different position and then teach.
Move through the system and the process. We're actually learning from you, and we're doing a little bit of that as well. So if you're interested in becoming a real estate professional, let me know. Click the link and maybe we can give you some guidance and some advice. And I am going to be expanding my team soon. So just saying.
All right.
Great question, David. Perfect timing too.
Timing. So Jared, he wants to know why he would spend $195,000 for a condo in Vegas when he can get that same price, and excuse me if I'm saying this wrong, in Delray Beach, Florida. Where's the bargain?
Well, the bargain here is the fact that you get to live in Sin City. That's my opinion. Yeah. It's truly, we're not necessarily directly saying that we're better or you're going to get a better bargain or a better deal by buying here versus where you just mentioned in Florida. But the reality is this market specifically has been the either number 1 or number 2 or number 3 market for the last 3 years across the nation. So when you buy in a city that's growing and exploding like this, your investment is going to get you more money faster. So that's the bargain. It's not really the bargain up front, although it really still is, but it's more so the bargain on the end, when not really the bargain, the money you're making on the end. What do you say?
I mean, it's hard to compare another city because every city has so many different things. Like Las Vegas has so much entertainment. I mean, if you're looking at Florida, we also have Lake Mead, we have Mount Charleston, we have Red Rock. So there's a lot of outdoor stuff here as well to do. When you're looking at Florida, I just think of the beach.
Right.
So I think, it's
apples and oranges.
It's a matter of weighing what you're more interested in and what your interests are.
Right.
Like Las Vegas does have a lot to offer because it's 24-hour town. You have something to do all the time. So if you're looking for entertainment, that's the reason to pick Las Vegas over Florida.
Yeah. So, and I don't know that we're even promoting that. I would say if you've got $195,000 and you can buy something in each and every state, it's about what's your future plan. Are you going to live there or are you going to rent it out? Are you Airbnb-ing it or are you going to let family stay there? Is it a second home? So there's a lot more questions than just this city versus this city. Which one do we pick? So I hope that helps.
Digging into that, but great question.
Yeah, though. And that might be a city that's booming as fast as Vegas is. I don't know, but I just know
we need to go visit there. I've never been there before.
Can we come and visit you? Maybe we come visit. How about we do this? We'll do another one.
That sounds like a girls' trip right there.
From Florida. We'll answer the question.
We'll compare then. While we're on the beach.
Sure. Yeah. Please,
okay.
Jen's
I don't
gonna
know
add.
what it is in Florida, but here we have no income tax, no state income tax. So there's a bargain. Instant raise, as you always say.
She's a realtor too, by the way. She's on the Cerrone Group, just so you know. There's definitely a lot of really good things that the state also provides.
And low property taxes.
Low property taxes, less than 1% on average of the assessed value, which is less than what the actual house is worth, just so you know, usually from a tax perspective. And then at the end of the day, I mean, it's Vegas, dude. It's Vegas.
And so much growing industry. I don't know what the opportunities are there.
I don't either. But yeah, that's the type of stuff you should definitely be looking. We're just gonna do a girls trip. That's just all we're doing.
We just need to come
coming.
visit you out there, and then we can compare.
We'll be there by 4:00 today. We'll let you know.
All right.
All right, Jen. What else we got?
So we have, and again, Hansika, I believe her name is.
Okay.
She says she's expecting to buy a fourplex in Las Vegas. Do you believe it's worth it?
Fourplexes are a really, really smart investment when you can find them. So, and is it Hansika? Is that her name?
Yes.
Hansika, thank you so much for that question. I'm so happy to hear that you're looking to invest in that type of a building. In Vegas, we don't have a lot of those.
There isn't. You know, somebody did send me some that builders actually building now yesterday. I don't know if you've probably already seen those.
I haven't seen them yet, but I did get the notice.
So but there isn't a lot. People come from other places all the time asking me, okay, I want to get a fourplex. And most of the time don't end up getting a fourplex because there's not a lot available out there.
And let's talk about why would you want to buy a fourplex? Because it's a really smart investment strategy. I think, I don't know if you know this, and the person who just asked that question may or may not know this, but isn't it appropriate to possibly get an FHA loan for a fourplex if you're living in one of the units?
That's the benefit of it. If you live in one of the units, you can put a smaller down payment down and then use all the rent from the other 3 units. So it's a great benefit to buy a fourplex if you can find one.
Really, really smart. It's a house hacking kind of thing. If you're interested in that and looking into that, it is definitely worth it. A couple of years ago, I was looking at them for a client, and they were running between $350,000 to $400,000 in the nicer areas of town, the more popular areas. They're probably up from there at this point in time. I would say they're probably a little above 400 at this point on average. And I would also say that there's going to be slim pickings because there's not a whole lot of those available. People who invested earlier are definitely smart, but it's always worth keeping an eye out for it. I hope that answered the question.
Great question, though.
Good question.
No, you did answer the question.
And if you're doing a loan, call Amber. She can help you hook up that FHA loan if you want to go that route, because it's definitely a smart way to hack that house. Yes. All right, Jen, what else you got?
All right, this one is from Tish. She said they want to move to Vegas. They understand they have to get a job first. Do you recommend that they rent an apartment while they get a job and then start looking for a home?
Is it Tish?
Yes.
Tish.
Great name, Tish.
Tish, first of all, I could kiss you. I love that you're moving to Vegas. I'm handing out a lot. I'm making out with the audience
Lacey
today.
is feeling the love today.
Does anybody want to make out with me? That's all I'm asking. My husband is going to kill me, but does anybody want to make out with me? Seriously, you want to make out?
That red lipstick is really inviting right there.
Okay, sorry, we get off track. This is what happens when you work around me. I'm so sorry, Amber. I'm sorry. Tish, yes. First of all, love that you're thinking about moving to Vegas, and I love that you're not discouraged of the crazy market and all the stuff going on here. I would say, right? When people want to rent first before they buy, we always recommend an apartment, because getting into a house, first of all, is ridiculous right now. And secondly, it's pretty much impossible. And third, you're going to get more flexibility by doing an apartment, because they'll do shorter term rentals and you can get out when you find the house you want.
And it's not as stressful too. When you're moving from another state and then you're trying to get a house at the same time and a job at the same time, the stress level is so out of control. So I think it's always better to rent a little bit before.
It definitely helps. We actually have a lot of really close relationships with some rental communities in the valley that do a really good job of just taking care of you. You know, they give 1 to 3 to 6 month and 9 month and a year, of course, leases. They do a lot of really good things to make it easy for you to transition. So let us know. You know, we can even give you guidance on how to find the apartments. Apartments.com is great. We've got a couple of partners, like we said, but we don't make money on it. We just want to make sure you're settled and you're in and ready to go. But yes, renting an apartment versus a house is always going to be recommended above that, if you're planning to buy within the first year and a half even.
Awesome. Okay. Rick has a question for Amber.
Is this Rick's Reviews?
Hello,
Rick's Reviews. What up? He's one of our biggest fans. He's awesome.
Oh, we love Rick's Reviews.
Did you know we have fans?
Oh, so awesome. Well, hello, Rick.
So he wants to know, Amber, do you have a favorite neighborhood or dream home in Vegas?
Oh my God. First of all,
favorite neighborhood.
Rick, that one's for you. Go ahead.
So do I have gosh, that's a really good question. You know, I'm one of those high-rise believers.
She does love a good high-rise.
I do love the high-rises, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. So Turnberry is a place that I really love a lot, but I've been also really trying to check out those Queensridge high-rises over there. So I like a different lifestyle. Queensridge is right in Summerlin, so I do love
high-rise.
I do love Summerlin because my office is right in downtown Summerlin. So obviously that would make it really good, really close to get to. But I think
really good question.
I think Queensridge is something that I've been kind of keeping an eye out for. You know?
I see where you're about to spend some money. Amber's like, buy Queensridge. Good to know.
I don't know if I'm going to buy Queensridge. It's just a dream right there. It's pretty expensive if you look it up.
Yeah. There's a lot of really cool neighborhoods around town. I know you didn't ask me, Rick, but I'm going to answer it anyway.
Oh, yes. Where's your neighborhood? Where's your dream at?
My dream is to live in McNeil Estates, which is
Where's that at?
It's a vintage Las Vegas neighborhood right off of Rancho.
Oh, and, yeah, that used to be like the place over there. Those are awesome houses.
They're just fun, and I love a good vintage Vegas home. We have a partnership with Nevada Preservation Foundation, and this is an organization who does these really awesome events every year where they invite locals or people who are visiting to come in and tour those vintage homes and go through those homes and drive the neighborhoods and learn about the history. And
I would probably love it if I went through there too. Yeah,
you know, learn about who the heck lived there before. I mean, it's awesome. So I have an obsession. True obsession. If I'm ever having a bad day, I go drive through a vintage neighborhood and everything is fine.
It makes your energy level better.
Changes. It's amazing.
Really? So that means it speaks to you.
That organization, they do those events. But their entire mission is to preserve those neighborhoods, to make sure that people who are buying those homes are not tearing them down and building monstrosities, and they're not changing the facade on the outside too much away from what they want.
I didn't even know that.
So I'm a big believer.
And the land you get with those vintage homes,
lots more land
too. Yeah.
But yeah, Don Draper, call me. That's all I have to say. I know you're a womanizer. I don't care. I just want you to help me buy a house. That's all. But at the end of the day, I love McNeil Estates. It's my favorite. Awesome. Steve Carter is Battleborn Steve on Instagram. He's on our team. He's one of our agents, and he and I are very obsessed to a point that we actually did a little promo reel for one of the events they did last year, and the entire reel on Instagram was just he and I gasping as we drove through a neighborhood. It was, oh my God.
Was that when you were sitting in he was on a motorcycle and you were sitting
we did that too. Yeah, we drove sidecar motorcycle through these vintage neighborhoods too. It's, we have little dates and his wife loves me and it's great. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so McNeil Estate. So if you're thinking of a vintage home, we've actually sold quite a few vintage homes in the last year. They're really, really they're coming up in the popularity. Cool. Let us know. We're the experts for sure. So. All right. So which is more advisable, a 15-year or a 30-year? This is from our friend Jared from Florida. Hey, Jared from Florida. Looks like someone's looking to buy a house in Vegas. Looks like we might have convinced you to come here.
That's awesome.
So what do you think?
He's also 15 asking, or 30? I'll just tack this on the end what the closing time is in cash deal.
Closing times on a cash deal. Okay, this is all you, girlfriend. Okay. I'll do the cash deal. You do the loan.
Okay, I got the loan. Okay, so here's what I always suggest. Okay, so 15-year is an awesome interest rate. Is going to be a lot higher payment though, because you're paying it off in half the time.
Yeah.
So like what I've done personally and what I usually suggest to a lot of people is you can always pay a loan off in 15 years. So I always suggest take the 30-year, know the 15-year payment and pay extra to it to pay it off early. I'm a big believer in you get the house for your home and you try to pay that thing off, or you pay it down, you pay it lower so that you have more equity in your house and eventually you own a house free and clear. So, but like if you're on an income where sometimes there's something that happens in a month and it's hard to commit yourself to that big payment of the 15-year, you could still get it done in 15 years. Take the 30-year and just pay extra.
Pay one or two extra payments, even if it's an extra $100 a month towards the principal, you want to write it down or put it in there so they know to apply that to the principal.
Yeah, and anytime you get extra money, just pay it towards the principal and you can still get it done in 15 years.
Amber has a YouTube channel that we don't do a ton of live videos on, but we're going to start doing them as we move through this year. And I highly recommend you watching a couple of her videos on investment strategy. You did a really cool video where she talked about how she has been able to do this a few times in her life and been able to pay off homes and is really very smart with her money. I'm even learning from her. So little plug for you there. So if I remember to, I'll put it in the comments, but just click in the link in the description. There's a link to her channel. Please subscribe, by the way. We're really trying to make sure that we grow this woman's brand and we let the world know how amazing she is. So do us that favor if you could. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell, but watch the video. It's awesome. And there's some cool videos on there about your personal life and stuff that's happened that you'll understand why I love this woman so much more.
Coleman Loans, right?
Amber Coleman Loans, yes.
You're making me
actually, you might want to double check it. All right. And then on the cash deal, if you're doing cash, we can typically close with the title company as long as there's no clouds on the title or anything crazy. Between 10, 12, 15 days is about the timeline I would look for. We've done it in less. It's just not very fun for anybody involved. So we do try to at least give ourselves 10 to 12 days, but 15 days is a good number to kind of work with, I'd say. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, good question.
Again, Amber Coleman. You can check her out.
Okay, this next one is from Kelvin. Hey, Kelvin.
Calvin Harris?
Kelvin.
Oh, Kelvin.
I love how you're making jingles out of the names.
I'm figuring this out today. I'm
figuring out different last names.
Trying to make some stuff happen. I'm trying to be a jingle writer in my next life, and I'm trying to just get that going right now.
Okay, well, good job. You're doing good at them.
So he wants to know, why exactly is the inventory so low? People just don't want to sell, or people don't want to sell or relocate during COVID, or just many people buying?
So I would love to walk through this, because I think a lot of people don't know what the hell's going on. They don't even know. They're just listening to those buzzwords coming across the news, and then, crisis and not enough homes, interest rates are low. Nobody actually hears the real story. So let's talk about that. I'll kick it off, and then I'm going to kick it over to her because she's way smarter than me. But really, at the end of the day, when the pandemic kind of kicked in, we were already low inventory before the pandemic started.
I remember hitting levels that we thought were crazy, and we never thought they can get lower.
Yeah, and that was like a month before the pandemic hit. So about February of last year, we definitely started seeing inventories shrink. Largely, it's due to the fact that the interest rates were already so screaming low and so stinking awesome. But this, as I mentioned earlier, this city, Las Vegas specifically, has been one of the number 1, number 2, or number 3 cities to move to, and fastest growing cities in the nation over the last several years. So because of that momentum and that energy and all the people around the world finally realizing what I've known since I was 9 years old, since I rolled into Las Vegas, and what you've known since you were probably born.
I was born here.
This place is rad. Okay. People want to live here. This is amazing. You've got the best food, the best entertainment. You've got awesome things to do. You can fly anywhere in the world from here direct. You can drive 2 hours here to get there, 1 hour to the beach. It's insane. There's everything here. So I just think it's more about the world kind of woke up. And then the pandemic hit. And then it was like, well, now not only does the world want to live here, but now they're unemployed and they're trying to figure out how to get here. Or now they're employed, but they're working remotely. So they're just going to move anyway.
And they can live
anywhere they want, right? So now it went from brick and mortar. I have to live in LA because that's what my job requires me to do, to screw LA. I'm going to move to Las Vegas and save a crap ton of money. I almost said a cuss word, crap ton of money. And then keep my job, right? And take advantage of the low income or the no income tax, the low property taxes, and all of that. So because of all of that, and then on top of all that, Kelvin, sorry, but this is a layered story. On top of all that, you've got the pandemic, which gave people a chance to live rent free, and gave people who would maybe have sold their home a chance to push their mortgage to the end and just wait and see what happens, right? So you've got tenants living in homes they're not going to move out of. You've got owners living in homes that they can't sell or don't want to sell because they don't know if they're going to have a job tomorrow. And then you've got the lowest interest rates of the world, basically, in our history happening. And then on top of that, you've got not enough homes already to begin with. So that's like the big old sandwich that we've been biting on for the last year. From a loan perspective, I know that the interest rates have been a big thing, but they also had a ton of free money programs that were going out earlier last year.
They did have a lot of free money.
Yeah.
Remember when we first started talking, like when we first started doing our lives and stuff?
Yeah.
And we said, like a year ago right now?
1 year ago today.
We said, look, I think the pandemic is going to make home more important. So before, when people were more renters, now they're not renters, they're owners, because the pandemic being forced in your house, you realize renting sucks.
Yeah.
So I think that has a lot to do with it too, coupled with you could buy a house with the cheapest money ever. Yeah. So like the interest rates are making the inventory low. Yeah.
Well, it's just like it's cheap to borrow money. Why wouldn't I buy now? If you were gonna wait, you don't have to wait, because that money, that interest rate shrunk your down payment needs. Yeah. It shrunk everything. So it's so easy to get into a house as long as you're employed.
And I mean, honestly, we all need a roof over our head. So I think most people have realized that it's better to own that roof than to rent it. So I think that coupled with low interest rates and everything that you said is all contributing to the low inventory.
It's been like a snowball effect, really. We were already there, and then pandemic hit, and then it's just moratorium and on evictions. More forbearances are now added. Boom, 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 keeps going.
A snowball definitely happening right now. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it doesn't even snow here very much. But
it doesn't. When it does, though, we have so much fun.
Do you want to build a snowman? Okay.
All right. From TJ. What kind of benefits do a 100% disabled veteran receive when buying a home in Las Vegas?
Oh, hello, TJ.
We love the veterans.
And we thank you for your service. We do love our veterans. So as a 100% disabled veteran, when you go to buy a house, you don't have the VA funding fee. So, VA is already an awesome loan, but the one thing it does have on it is the funding fee. You're exempt from that as a disabled veteran. plus the property taxes, you get a discount on your property taxes. And I think you can couple that with your car registration as well, right?
Yes. And I think based on your age also, it depends on if you get an even deeper discount on some of that as well. Like there's 4 or 5 layers to that.
Yeah. And the level of disability that you have, like the percentage that you have. So there's definitely a lot of benefits here for
You do a lot of VA loans, right? You work with a ton of veterans.
I'm like in the national levels of VA loans. I think last year I was ranked like 100 and something.
Nice. This is an award-winning loan officer. You know that, right? What? Didn't we just get a new award? Isn't it behind me? I'm pretty sure there's a new award behind me, and they're all around the office because we don't just partner with anyone.
Now I'm feeling like big-headed right now.
See, you did that to me 5 minutes ago. This is what you get. Anyway, she's amazing. Huh? It's payback, but in the best way.
We should do this every Tuesday.
We're doing it every Tuesday. Done.
All right. So what do you think about some of the online mortgage services like Rocket?
We all got quiet.
I can feel the tension just so you guys
know. The online mortgage services, I think that I know I'm trying to okay, the problem that you're going to have with online mortgage services is when you go to buy a house, you'll give a pre-qual letter because the listing agent is going to be asking for a pre-qual letter, and they're going to say, yeah, you need to use a local lender. Because the local lenders are going to have the appraisals all set up. They're going to have everything set up to make the process move faster. When an online lender doesn't have all that set up, so that the timing is usually longer. So earlier in this broadcast, we talked about how do you win the house that you want. If you didn't hear that question, I'm going to repeat what we said because it actually ties back to this as well. If you want to win the house of your dreams and you want your offer to go through, this isn't a guarantee, but it will for sure kill the deal if you're working with a national bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase, any of those, and if you're not working with a local lender. And the reason just right now, I mean, you can use those anytime you want. We're not in the business of telling you who to use from a lending perspective. We can always recommend because we know the greatest one sitting right next to me, but we also know how it works. But I'll tell you right now, last week we closed a house that had a Rocket mortgage on it. We had more problems with that transaction and almost lost the house 5 times because the lender wasn't getting the appraisal done quick enough or fast enough, wasn't providing the paperwork that was needed, wasn't moving fast enough in the escrow or in the what's it called again? The underwriting process. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. And then also would not get back to us. They would be gone at 5:01 p.m. and wouldn't come back for 3 days on a 3-day weekend, whereas you're available at all times, right? And we do work through the weekend. So the larger banks also will not do a short loan. They just don't care. There's so many people trying to get refinances and loans right now. They won't do it. They'll tell you up front if you're the agent and you call and say, can I get a pre-qual letter? Can we close on this date? They'll say, nope, we need 45 days. The minute you tell a person who's selling your house you need 45 days, they're going to say no thank you, and they're going to send you away and find somebody else to buy the house. So it's really, really important. Local banks only, please, please. Yeah. Not only that, I've noticed lately with this craziness, the minute they get that offer, the listing agent is on the phone. So if as a loan officer, you're not available to be on the phone, you've already lost that contract. So she's part of the negotiation as well. We talk to the agent, listing agent, and so does she to make sure that we tell them how awesome you are. Yeah, we're all about being your biggest cheerleader.
Quick question for myself. I know in the past VA loans have taken a little bit longer, right?
VA loans can definitely take a little bit longer, at least on my experience. It's the appraisal process.
Yeah, so I would say on a VA loan, probably not 21 days, do the 30 days. But you could definitely get them done in 30 days.
Oh, so it's not a 45 day?
No.
And the listing agents will be okay with that as long as you guys are in alignment on everything else.
Yeah.
Good question.
Okay, so Martha wants to know, is it possible to buy a home between a couple family members like your in-laws?
Yes, it is, Martha. So we have people all the time that will buy a house together. Like sometimes you'll buy it like you as the borrower and your in-laws as the non-occupying co-borrower if they're not going to live in the house with you, or if they're going to live in the house with you as a co-signer. So like and you all have your same vested interest in the house. So it's absolutely possible. Yeah. And it happens all the time.
I just did it a year ago last week, and I bought a house with my daughter. I helped her buy her first house. It was last week. It was a year. She was 19 at the time. She's 19. We helped her get an FHA loan. We co-signed for her. She bought a house, and she's now going to be starting to rent it out starting later this year. So really, really exciting. My little 19-year-old investor. Look at that. She's also on the team if you want to work with her. She's a realtor, and she'll be 21 soon. So, no worries on that.
Yeah, she's a cutie.
And I know you're all wondering, of course I'm not old enough to have a 21-year-old.
You were like 12.
Of course. It was a mistake. Anyway.
So this one is from Ryan. We know Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
we're about to list his house.
Ryan's about to list his house, and it's really gorgeous in a gorgeous area of town in the Southwest. If you want to know more about that, please click the link below, because Genevieve is his listing agent, and we would love to show it to you maybe right when it hits the market so that you can maybe get in.
Okay, Friday. Ryan.
So are there any offers, or are there any benefits to making an offer on a house that has a tenant in it for another year?
That's a really interesting question. Is there any benefit to writing an offer? I would say the benefit would be that you could secure the home price at now. But I would say that you probably are not gonna. No, I would say, yeah, there's definitely benefit. You have a renter already in place, and as long as the renter is paying enough to cover your payment, right, and is under a lease, a proper lease agreement, yeah, there's a huge benefit. I think I heard the question differently than what I meant, but yes, the benefit is you become a landlord, and then if you want to live in it after the first year or after their lease is up, the only downside is that you'd have to probably clean the house, have it, deep cleaned, and maybe do renovations depending on how that renter treated the home. You're a landlord as well,
our
right?
side, yeah, but on our side, if the only downfall that you're really going to have to that is that the owner occupied loan programs, which are the best rates, are going to require you to be in the house after 60 days. So if there's somebody leasing the house for a year,
right. Well, you wouldn't be able to sign off on it even, right?
We might need to look at a different loan program other than owner occupied.
But it is possible. Yeah, you might not get the best rates. That's the downside. But other than that, like, yeah, if you can become a landlord and let them pay the mortgage and start to put some money away for that first year and then move in and do your thing, then heck yeah. Art, did you really leave your phone on?
You know what? No, it's not my phone. It's the computer.
I don't know what's going on, but that's okay. This is what happens when you go live. But yeah, the benefit really is you get to be a landlord. You're building equity. Someone else is paying that mortgage for you for the year. You can decide if you want to remain as a landlord, or you can decide if you want to move in and take over the house after the fact, and even look into refinancing at that point too. You could do that.
Yeah, I've had several people do that, like buy the house as an investor and then refinance it later on as a primary residence.
Yeah. If it's not your primary residence, can you use a VA loan on it?
No, you can't. VA is going to make sure so the only time I've been able to do it, not as far as a year, VA will make sure about 60 days, but there are certain times where you can acknowledge that you're going to live in the house as soon as the investor's out. And if it's not, or as soon as the renter's out.
Right.
And if it's not like super long, I would say like try to keep that 6 months.
Right. 6 months or less.
And then we'd want to push it through underwriting first.
Right. So that would be a little bit of a different process.
Yeah, a little different process.
Cool. Good question.
Thanks,
Ryan.
So David wants to know, how does the transition work when selling a home in another state and buying in Las Vegas? He's from Austin, Texas.
Hello, Austin, Texas, David. Nice to meet you. We do about 95% relocation business on our team, specifically here in Vegas for the Cerrone Group. So we are very well versed in the process, and we like to call ourselves relocation experts because of that. We work really, really closely.
You are relocation experts. I'm gonna
being called an expert. Thank you. Feeling very smart. Okay. Truly though, David, seriously. So the way we would want you to do this is call us now before you even list your house. If you don't have a realtor out there that can represent you, we actually have taken a great deal of time and energy to put our name, our faces out there to other real estate professionals around the world, because we want to have contacts in every city and state around the world so that we can help you do this on both sides. So what we would love for you to do is call us now. Click the link below. Let's talk to you. If you've already listed the house, no problem. Give us the information for your listing agent so we can stay in touch. But that's basically how it works. So if once your house is listed, when you have an offer, you've accepted the offer, you are officially in contract, we can start looking for homes here. Not one day before that are we able to look at homes and take you through them, because not one person out here is going to accept an offer from somebody who has to sell their house before they can get into this one. They're more likely to do so if you've already got an offer accepted and you're processing the buyer as you normally would. Even better of a scenario, which crunches our timeline down a little bit and makes me really nervous, is if you wait until after the inspections are done and after the appraisals are done, so that we know it's a solid buyer, they're most likely not going to cancel. Then it would be an even better time to come out here and try to get into contract. But we know that's not always doable, and that does shrink your timeline. So the best way to go about this is call us before you list the house. Let us help you find a realtor if you don't have one. If you do, let us get in touch with them so we can stay, in lockstep on what the plan is. Once you get an offer on the home, and really with the market across the nation right now, really once you list it, we need to start looking, but definitely can't start making any offers until you get that offer accepted. If we run out of time and you have to get out of that house, there are short-term apartments that we can connect you with. Some of them are furnished. There are also 1, 2, 3 month contracts that you can do for apartments to lease that would help you just breathe a little bit. Nobody wants to move 3 times. I get it, but it's almost worth it for you to be able to take your time and do this right and not rush into a home out here.
The stress gets crazy when you try to rush.
Yes. The other advice I would give you is add a lease back term to your listing. Ask for 30 days to go and find your home after they close on the home. So if they buy your home and you go into contract, let's pretend it's today. You accept the contract today. We can start writing offers for you in Vegas today. But what I'm asking you to do is give them the 30 days to close, and then it becomes their home. And then you can rent that back from them for up to another 30 days while we figure out where you're going to live. See? Strategy.
I want a t-shirt with that face.
See, strategy.
So we're going to chat with Martha again.
Hey, Martha.
They're currently in Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
They've been renting their whole lives, which been there, Martha.
Martha,
we get
it. Martha,
Yeah.
You're going to love life when you don't have to rent anymore.
Yeah, so she's thinking moving to Vegas, possibly owning a home for the first time.
Yay!
What's the first step she should take?
I'm so excited. Step 1, can you say it with me?
You want to call
you or me. First, you want to click the link below. Can you say it with
I'm
me?
sorry.
Click the link below. That's what we want you to do.
And then we'll both reach out to you.
Yes.
We'll get you started.
Step 1 actually already happened. You're watching this video, Martha. We love you. And we want you to be able to feel what it's like to be a homeowner.
You're going to love it.
Yeah.
Like, it's an amazing experience when you've had to rent forever to be able to know that you can paint that wall purple if you want.
Girl.
You can build you can grow your garden if you want. Whatever you
tell
want to
her
do
what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to click the link below. Okay. Pre-approval is going to be step 1. So you're going to talk to our team. We're going to get you hyped, and then we're going to hand you over to Amber, and she's going to get you some cash.
We're going to get you the money lined up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this is either Lenny or Leanie. Sorry if I'm butchering that.
Lenny, that was my dog's name when we adopted him. I'm going to roll with Lenny. And if it's Leanie, how cute is your name? Oh, my God.
So they want to know, how much money do you need saved to buy a 3-bedroom average house for the first time in Vegas?
So right now, the average price in Vegas, I don't know if you know this, is it's about $356 or $346. I don't remember the number right off the bat, but it's mid threes right now is the average price, which is wonderful because the average price matches up to those FHA loan limits, which is really nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that before, which was kind of not fun for people.
Yeah.
So around 350 is what I would be looking at for your average price point. What would you say would be a good guidance or tent pole for them to be looking to save?
So as far as there's a couple different ways you can take it. We can look and see if you qualify for the grant, and then that's less money down. And then we can kind of work the payments to, we kind of try to work backwards to see if, if you want the payments this way or if you don't want the payments this way, because the grant's going to be a little bit higher payment. If you don't want the grant, then I would say 3.5% down, plus closing costs usually come out to be about 1.5%. And right now it's hard to get sellers to pay for closing costs. So
about 5%.
Total
right?
5% is what you'd be looking at.
That's the minimum, right?
That would, unless you do a grant, then we could do 2%,
nice.
And that kind of stuff. So we can look at all different ways. Should we do what we should do next?
Click the link below. Okay.
Let's get you started.
Okay. So unless everybody has more questions, I have a question that I think would be super great information to share.
Yeah. Genevieve's a first-time home buyer also. She just finished her loan.
She's adorable too.
We'll bring her on next time. That's it. Girls party.
We're going to Florida. No, just kidding.
We're coming to see you in Florida.
We
Where
are.
the hell that was Delhi, Florida.
That was a good response because we need to check out Delhi, Florida. I
We
think that's what it
really
was.
need a day off, if you can't tell. What's the question, Jen?
So let's talk about new construction and how
good
that's
idea.
kind of compared to resale right now.
Oh, yes. Tell us about new construction.
Oh, Lord in heaven. I love new construction. I really do. I do a lot of new construction on the channel for that reason, because who doesn't love looking at beautiful homes?
They are beautiful houses.
Hello.
Yes.
We are experiencing something I never thought I would see. And that I've been in this business, I guess I'm on my fourth or fifth year. I can't remember. It's been a long time. It's been forever. Wow.
It has been forever.
New homes are a beautiful option, especially in Vegas, because we are growing and busting at the seams. So because of the fact that we have so many new homes and new builders and new, just different designed area, everything's different. You've got any kind of builder you want to work with is great. Luxury all the way down to starter home. You could do condos, you could do, full build out, semi-custom, custom, you name it. We've got it here in Vegas. The difference though is that the new homes are really overrun right now because there's no inventory on resale.
Crazy, right?
So what's the thing? What does everybody do when, there's not enough resale homes? No worries, I'll just go build a house, right? That's the first thing you want to go and do.
Or they're at lotteries right now, is that right?
Yeah, so even the new home communities are strapped for inventory.
crazy.
Like strapped, which is a big reason why my team partnered recently with Toll Brothers and another team in town to help promote the model homes that are going up for sale, $2.8 million beautiful model homes. In case you haven't seen them, go back and look at my channel. They're amazing. And then beyond that, just some of these standing inventory homes, we have first access, first visibility before any other agent in the city because of the fact that we have this partnership. And we had to do that because there's no other inventory available. It's like we're looking under rocks for houses right now. So
crazy.
But the new home builders have been experiencing their own pandemic kind of effects, really. We've had a lumber shortage over the last year that's really kind of crunched those timelines and really forced people to, like, instead of it being, or not crunched, I should say stretch those timelines. It's been like, you used to get a house in 4 to 5 months. You could build from ground to fully completed. Now they're looking at 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 months,
that's crazy.
And that's the lumber shortage. And then beyond that, the inventory in town has pushed a lot of people to move over and consider new homes. New homes are awesome, but that timeline is going to push you out of the ability to take advantage of the cheap money rates right now. We don't know what the rates are going to be.
That's the one thing I'd be concerned with is the rates.
We don't know what those rates are going to be. But new homes are such a good option and something that you should consider. We are new home experts. We purposefully have partnered. That was a lot of P's. Purposefully have partnered with.
Yeah, that was good. You made through good.
Dang, that's all my acting classes.
It was perfect.
Tongue twisters galore. Helene Gregory Talent Center, 19 whatever in Las Vegas. But truly, lumber shortage, low inventory, low interest rates, all of that is affecting it. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't consider new homes. I do believe, to your point, interest rates are still going to be fabulous for a little while longer. They may not be 2%, but they're definitely going to be nice.
Yeah.
So don't let it take you out of the running, but your timeline is definitely going to have to change. So new homes should be something that you're looking at. And please don't just go look at new homes. Please take a realtor with you. Please let it be someone from our team. We are experts. We know everybody at the builders. We know how they work. We know every one of them has different rules. She's even a lender for some of the builders out here, right?
Not only that, you want somebody to represent you.
Yeah, you need to have somebody to help you.
Anybody that works for the builder represents the builder. Yep. You want somebody representing you as the buyer.
Yeah.
That's why
our job and our duties are to protect you and your interests, and that's it. Not even our own, just yours. So super important. And I know it's fun to go drive around and look at model homes on the weekends, but I'm urging you to not do that unless you have a real estate professional with you. If they're not with you on that first visit, they cannot represent you. They can't give you the advice that you need. They can't review your contracts. They're not allowed to be a part of it. And trust me when I tell you, there's some shady, weird stuff going on.
There is some shady stuff. Yeah, you got to read those contracts.
The builders are amazing, but there are really interesting contracts. And unless you've looked at them before, you're going to want some help. So if you're considering moving to Vegas, definitely look at resale. Definitely contact our team. And what do we want them to do? Click the link below. But more so than ever, we really want you to know that we're going to serve you on whatever front you need us to. So we're going to come to you where you are right now. So if you need to be served in the new homes world, we'll help you get new homes. If you want to look at resale, cool. If you want to fix her upper, no problem. If you want to buy a foreclosure, no biggie. We got you. We are experts. We are super agents. We can do it all. And we want to make sure that you're being served by people who like people and who actually are kind of fun.
It's important to have people who like people.
We like people. People who like
Here's another jingle. We love it.
Did we run out of questions, Jen?
We do have more.
Oh my God. Okay. We're going to do a 5-hour live today. It's so exciting. Let's answer whatever the next run of questions are, and then we'll wrap it up because
we'll do 3 more.
It's Tuesday. We're sure you've got somewhere to be. It's Taco Tuesday, right?
We'll be back next Tuesday.
And we're going to be back next Tuesday. We're going to tweak the time a little bit, but please join us at each and every week with my beautiful, gorgeous redhead friend here. I love red hair. I'm very.
You can pet my hair at any time.
Hair.
I love it when people touch it too.
I love it. It's amazing. I'm just kidding.
Oh God.
Just kidding. She's like, I love it when people touch it too.
Touch it, not eat it.
Okay. Tell us those questions. Let's do it.
So this is from DLBTT.
I don't think anyone's going to work with me because I'm the weirdest real estate agent in Las Vegas.
It's okay. There's the rest of us.
There's more of me. I'm just the leader. There's more of me that aren't anything like me at all.
So, first of all, we're giving you a shout out from Denmark.
DCTTV?
DLBTT.
Denmark, what?
Oh, yes.
So they say, as a foreigner in Denmark, what kind of limitation is there of buying a vacation house in the Vegas area?
Good question. I'm going to leave that to you.
So this is it would be considered a foreign national loan. And you can do a foreign national loan if you're buying it as a second home. They don't allow investment properties, so you have to use it as a second home. And typically those are more down payment. and a little bit higher interest rates because they're completely different programs. They're completely different than anything else that you're going to be looking at. So when you do get your citizenship here, if you do plan on moving here eventually, we'll probably switch you in loan programs. But there's definitely loan programs available if you're buying as a second home, and it's called a foreign national loan.
Awesome.
If you want more information, we should
click the link below.
And I will add that Amber has a whole video about this on her channel.
Oh, yes, I do. I do have a video about this.
We might need to put that in the comments or the description. But yes, definitely check out Amber's channel. And again, I'm just going to reiterate, there's a link to that channel in the description below. So if you want to, I don't know, check it out.
Also in the comments too.
Follow, give a little bell, find her, say hi.
Oh, and all those things. I would love it if you said hi.
All right. So back to our friends Ryan and Amanda. With how competitive the market is, what's the average time frame the majority of your clients are waiting to find a new home from the time they sell to the time they close?
Ryan and Amanda are very loquacious. Could you read that again? Oh my God.
Perfect.
Was that the right word? Loquacious? Is that the right word?
You know what? I don't know what it means, but it sounded fabulous to me.
I do like to whip a big old word out every now and then.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the average time people are waiting to find a home? Like, so if I'm shopping right now, they want to know how long is it taking people to find houses
and get into it.
Oh man, that's not a very fun conversation to have. But no, truly, if we stay aggressive, it's probably a good solid 30 days of looking. Just knowing you might have to write more than one offer. You might not win every single offer that you write. So I would give yourself a good solid 30 to 40 days of looking. And then each escrow is about 30 days. So I would say 60 to 75 days total for the experience, with the consideration of you may be having to write multiple offers. What do you think?
That was a good answer.
A good answer? From a loan perspective, obviously you can do 21 days, 30 days.
Yeah, give me your paperwork early and let's close you in 21 days. So we can cut that down, right?
Yeah. And what was the rest of that question?
So how does that differ by price point?
How does that differ by price point? I would say if you, that's a
really good question.
Does Amanda want to be a realtor?
Yeah.
Dang. I mean,
Amanda's got all the good questions.
She's asking them good. I don't know what's going on with you. Amanda's listing her house on Friday. In case you want to buy it, just let me know. It's Genevieve's best friend. So we did shill this a little bit with one person, and it's her. So I would say by price point, we've got some clients that are in the $4 million range, and it's limited, right? There's not a lot of $4 million homes in Vegas. So theirs is a bit of a faster process because when they find the one they want, they're in it, they're done. But I would say it's probably about the same across the board from a price point perspective. The ones that are lower than $350,000, you're probably going to be writing offers for a really good amount of time, unless you're offering cash or you're able to pay over what's asking. So I would add another 30 days to that if you're under 350.
Perfect.
That was totally made up, but I feel really confident about my answers.
I think they're right on the dollar right
Thank
there.
you.
Right
She always,
right
even
there.
if I was wrong, she's going to tell me I'm right, and I feel good about myself. So everything's
Actually, I would
fabulous.
just stay quiet. So I think you did really good. Okay.
Thank you.
So that's all of our questions. I just want to add a couple shout outs.
Oh, shout outs. Let's do the shout out dance. You ready? We're going to make this up. Here we go.
We're going to do it.
She's been working with Michelle R. For those of you who know her, it's Sassy.
What up? Go Sassy. Go Sassy. Get your birthday. It's your birthday. Sassy's on our team, and she's fabulous. Yes. She's been awesome to work with. Except what else? She's super fun, and she's not as weird as me.
She's a female poker player. How cool is that?
Female poker player.
Is.
What?
Yes.
Ranked in the world.
Cooler than that.
I don't know what her rank is, but she's fabulous. Okay.
So Sky Canyon Gator says, thankfully he got in early on a new home construction.
Yes,
and
he did.
Before selling his home in North Carolina, thanks to the Cerrone Group.
Thank you. I know exactly who you are. What's his name? So Sky Canyon Racer?
Gator.
Sky Canyon Gator. He just changed his name to that. I think he just changed it. Congratulations on your new home. We love that you worked with us. Let's do the dance. Shout out. And his agent was Rachel Gaston. She's another agent on our team.
She's so adorable.
She is super fun. Not as crazy as me, but probably crazier, actually.
I was going to say, she's getting up there.
She's getting up there. Love her.
Mandy Huey says you're her two favorite.
Mandy Huey, we just looked at houses yesterday.
Love you,
Mandy. Oh my gosh, we're getting close. We're gonna find you that house soon.
Yeah, so I just wanted to.
That's it. Couple shout outs.
Yeah.
Mandy's working with Joanna Garcia, who is one of our newest agents, who also speaks Spanish, which is super fun too.
So fun. She's adorable.
If you are thinking of moving to Vegas and you enjoyed this, I don't even know how long this was. Let us know. Do us a favor. Comment below. Let us know when you're planning on coming, what you're thinking, what parts of town you're interested in learning about. Honestly, just engage with us. We love the comments. We want to make sure we have a chance to come in later and say hi and just recognize that you were here with us today. But we genuinely care so much about the fact that you're thinking about Vegas and that you're watching.
And we love it when you call.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we love it when we actually get to talk to you on the phone. So I think it's amazing.
Amber has been a huge resource for me in my career and a wonderful friend. And I know personally, I've heard, I would say at least a dozen clients in the last 2 years tell me that if they hadn't watched a video.
Oh, you're going to make me all tear up.
All right. Well, it's not even that sappy, but they hadn't watched a video, if they hadn't seen Amber and they hadn't heard her story or hadn't heard her say, no judgments. We don't care what your credit looks like. Just call us. They wouldn't have ever clicked that button. And because they did, they now own a home. They're building equity and they are living their best Las Vegas life, which is our entire mission and goal. And I just got chills. That was amazing.
Because that's why we do it.
That's why we do this.
To help you get into your house.
Love you.
It does us good to help. I mean, I hate to, that sounds cheesy, but it does us good to help see you
it's a selfish
into your dream.
Pursuit of ours to want to do this because it is a fulfilling job.
I think it's because it's meant so much for us to be homeowners that we want to be able to see everybody be homeowners and to be able to get that for themselves.
And take it one level further. You know, I started this channel and started my Instagram and started even doing this before I was even a realtor because I freaking love this city. I am probably the most passionate person about Las Vegas that you're ever going to meet. And even if I don't know all the history and know all the facts, it doesn't matter. That passion is oozing out all over you. And I'm getting you to really understand that this is where you're supposed to live, right? No, truly, we just want to make you live your best life here. If you're going to move here, let's make it the best version of that you can be. So thank you for giving us a chance to do that. We really do love you. I've had to build out a team of amazing agents because I am only one person and there's a lot of you. So, but don't be discouraged by that. You know, I've got people who I've hand chosen to work alongside me to make sure that you're receiving all this crazy energy that I have and all the amazing love for the city and that you are set up for success when you get here. So thanks for giving us that opportunity. We really want you to do what? Click the link below, get in touch with us, say hi to my team, say hi to Amber, send her your paperwork, and let's freaking get this party started because the longer you wait to get here is that many more times and parties and events and shows and concerts that you're going to miss out on, possibly running into us at those events. I didn't say we were hanging at those events. I just said I'm just kidding. We actually do want to hang out. We want to see you live your best life. I mean, we do events throughout the year to make sure that you get a chance to connect with our team and build your little network. So get off your butt, get that clicking of the link going, and let's get this party started. That's all I have to say. What do you think?
I love it.
I'm just going to keep talking. I'm just going to keep talking. I'm just kidding.
Don't we love Lacey's energy? She's so fun.
Whatever.
So we do have a couple more questions, but I say we can just answer them in the comments.
We can do that unless they're different. I would happily give one bonus question right now. Let's do it.
Okay, yes. So in one of the shows, you heard that you say you only need 3% down. Is that for everybody or only for first-time buyers?
Ooh.
That's from Mike.
Okay, so 3% down on the conventional side is for first-time home buyers, but you can do 3.5% on FHA.
And you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. You don't have to be
a first-time home buyer on that. So
good question, Mike.
I think there's even there actually is a 3% non-first-time home buyer on conventional if you're under a certain income level. So there's a lot of different options, and that was a great question. Appreciate it.
Good bonus question. I'm digging it. Okay. Click the link below. We love you. Come to Vegas. It's open. We're opening.
We're opening. Awesome. It's going to be awesome.
We're going out sometime soon, and we're going to go have cocktails now because this was an awesome live. Thank you so much. You're not having cocktails. I'm having cocktails.
She's having one for me.
I'm having 3 for her. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay, you're